How you doing? This is Rory from Manage Music Project. I am here with Al. Open mic night down in Chiswick, the Pack Horse, the old Pack Horse. It's called. Bit of a quiet night tonight, to be honest. But as always, the highlight of the evening was my man Al. So we met about 6-8 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, it's about a month ago.
About a month ago. Here.
Yeah.
So let's roll back the clock a little bit. How did music start for you?
Oh, what initially?
What was the sort of thing that got the wheels rolling?
It's interesting. I mean, I do kind of cast my mind back to that. I mean, I've been doing music like for most of my life, like from when I was younger. So probably about age 6 or 7 or 8.
And did you come from a musical family or anything like that?
It turns out my dad's side of the family is like quite musical.
Okay.
So he had like a steel band in St. Lucia.
Right, okay.
Like with cousins and friends and
right.
But yeah, I mean, I just remember that they. I had a little keyboard when I was younger, like a Casio keyboard.
What thing we went?
Yeah, the real basic ones. But the first instrument I remember was my parents bought me a guitar. I think it was my mum that bought me the guitar.
Acoustic guitar, electric guitar?
Acoustic.
Yeah.
So my dad always had the guitar. He's still got the same guitar now.
Yeah.
It's got grooves in the fingerboard from where he's worn it. But yeah, we used to kind of play and he used to teach me and everything. So yeah, it's from about age of like 7 or 8.
So what music were you listening to or trying to emulate at that time?
I was just learning. I didn't know that much about music at the time. But it was just, my dad would have some songs and everything and I'd play along with him.
Yeah.
There was like some West Indian songs as well. Yellow Bird.
Okay.
Yellow bird, up high in banana tree. So we learned that. To be honest, I can't remember half of the songs that we played.
They're probably in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if you were someone starts singing, you'd know every word probably. Do you know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
Something else like doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, so I put some videos from you playing tonight. I think what you do is pretty crazy. What you do is pretty unique. Like, so you're sitting on a cajon.
Yeah. Or standing sometimes.
Or standing on it, right? So people don't know cajon's like a South American instrument. It's like a cross between like a drum, a box, kind of drum kit in a box.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 pedals.
Now I've got 2 pedals, yeah.
2 pedals, which you're playing with your feet.
Yeah.
So you're playing that with your feet. That would be enough for most people. Not for you. So you're playing bass as well.
Yeah.
And
the bass is like the main thing. The cajon, I still want to kind of learn the drums a bit.
Yeah.
So the cajon was like an easier entry into drums.
Right. Okay. And singing on top of all that.
Well, yeah. So I don't make things easy.
You don't. No. And then you choose covers like when we had a bit of Luther Vandross, we had like we had some Stevie Wonder. Like these are complicated bass lines that most bass players would. That would be the one thing. I'll just play bass in the band.
Yeah.
But you're doing that and playing drums with your feet and singing on top of all of that.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, you're putting your bass through effects pedals. Mm-hmm. So these are tonal, for people again who don't know. These are like tonal pedals that change the sound of your bass. Yeah. And you make these yourself.
I do, yeah.
How did that start?
It was something that because like in my 20s to 30s and everything, I wasn't really playing live instruments. I'd sometimes have a guitar there, but I was doing more sample-based stuff. And I always kind of, because I've got a bit of an electronics background.
Okay.
And, I like to tinker around and things like that. So I've always kind of had the idea in my head that I would like to make something that I could use in the music, like to create something unique or enhance the sound in some way, to kind of make it my own. So when I started doing the live music, which only started when I picked up the bass about 7 years ago, I eventually found this stuff online where they had like clones of pedals and everything, and I knew how to solder and put together stuff on Vero board. And so I just started making certain pedals.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, actually, one of my basses, I actually messed up the pickup.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to shield the guitar,
Yeah.
and I opened up the pickup, following instructions and everything, and I messed it up. So I had to compensate for that.
Right.
So I made a pedal that would boost the bass and everything on that. So that's kind of how it started.
So what did the array pedals? So you got one that's boosting the pick. What else? What are the rest of the pedals doing? So you got about 3 or 4 on there.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few tonight.
Yeah. So what are they all, sort of roughly? What are they all doing?
That's a trade secret that I can't give away. Yeah, nice try. But no, I mean that pedal that I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's actually, I've retired that one and used other things. So it's not quite effects or boosting.
It's like tonal changes.
Yeah, it just I've got like a gate on there, a compressor, and just things like that to just make the sound a bit stronger and stuff like that.
But actually, it sounds great. I mean, and it's an active bass.
No,
it's a passive bass.
Yeah, it's a passive one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it looks a bit like a Music Man kind of vibe, but it's.
It is. It's a Music Man copy.
Okay.
But it's not an active one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of the pedals that I had there is like an amp for the bass.
Right.
But I was using that on the cajon.
Okay.
Yeah. So I try to keep it's complex, but I try to keep it simple.
But it's great because it's like there's a lot of electronics and there's a lot of technology in there.
Yeah.
Yet it retains a really organic feel and sound.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do. Like that's a very fine line to walk, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, to sort of go right. Well, I'm gonna use all the technology at my disposal, but it's still gonna feel very rootsy and kind of raw and And the covers are great. You do some really interesting covers. I know things I've seen other people do before.
Yeah.
And that's kind of this whole open mic world. It's like I encounter people like you and other people I've interviewed on this series that are kind of doing it their own way, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So what's the motivation for? I mean, you do a lot of open mics. Like you very kindly introduced me to a lot of open mic musicians. You've been a big help for me finding out about the world.
My pleasure, man.
Like, how many open mics a week are you doing currently?
Now, not so much as before.
Right.
Before I was really into
before COVID sort of
thing. Yeah, before COVID, even a bit after COVID. But that was my learning stage. The whole thing about open mics was getting involved, jamming with people, getting to learn what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I was seeking out open mics here and there and just really throwing myself into it and out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Which was an important thing.
Yeah, because I think it's a hard thing because doing what you do, because it's so unique to what you do. You see a lot of the open mic guys, a bit like me, play guitar, sing a few songs, a bit of folk music, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you come along with double pedal, cajon thing. It's it's brave. It's a brave thing to put yourself out because it's so different.
Yeah.
Do you find the open mic world's more open to that, or do you find some people still find a bit what's going on here, sort of?
A bit of both, because I think, when you've got a unique kind of setup, or what you bring to the table is kind of unique. People enjoy seeing it, but some might kind of want the more traditional kind of thing. I'm not afraid to be a bit of a maverick and try new stuff and make mistakes and learn things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of both, where you don't want to try something that's too different, but you got to not be afraid to try something different.
I think that is sort of the beauty of the open mic world that we were talking about before. And I spoke with LeJean and Tamira, who you also know.
Yeah.
That pressure that if you're a covers musician, like getting paid by the pub to entertain the crowd kind of musician, which is a lot of what I've done up till now, there is kind of like an expectation that you've got to sort of trot out the same songs. You got to pay your Wonderwall, all the things that people want to hear.
Yeah.
Whereas with the open mic, that's kind of taken away because you're not getting paid to play, so you're paying purely for the love. So it's on your turn.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you feel that? Is that a motivation for you doing it?
Well, like I always say, it's about expressing, not impressing. You want to
say that again. It's about expressing,
not impressing.
So good.
Well, let me rephrase that. you obviously want to do your best. You want to give the crowd a good kind of a good set, a good show, and everything. But for me personally, I'm gonna just go up there and do my thing.
You're not going to jump
And
through the hoops. You're not performing seal.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Good.
yeah. And if people enjoy it, and especially if you introduce them to something new, I think that's a bonus.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you give people things that they weren't expecting, and they're like, actually, quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I see that with you. Like your reaction. I mean, tonight's been a bit of a quiet night, so you haven't really had the crowd. But the first time I saw you play, we had a really busy night, and you know, you've got that kind of the way you perform. You've got like a real charisma, and you're chatting to people in the crowd. You're very confident, and people seem to really they really warmed to it. Like, this is great. You know, people draw people. There was the table we're sitting now was, if you remember, was full
yeah.
of like a works night out. Had a few too many drinks kind of
There
people.
was that guy that kept asking for that same song, wasn't it? I was like, I don't know the song, but you know.
We had it or something. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
but the whole table was engaging what you were doing. I thought I was really impressed. I was like, wow, this is like, not only are you doing things in your own terms, but also you're getting good reaction as well. You know,
Yeah,
you don't have to play
it's always a
Wonderwall.
bonus, yeah.
You don't have to play you don't have to go and do like something obvious just to get reaction. You can get a really good reaction doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Like that's like the holy grail, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I think that is so important as well. I mean, obviously, if you're a musician that doesn't mind catering to the crowd, then you know, fair dues. But you know, there's rare times where I will like ask the crowd, yeah, all right, do you want to hear this or do you want to hear that? But usually I will just do my kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's great.
But at the same time, it is a good challenge sometimes to get out of that kind of way of thinking and comfort zone and be like, you know, what would you like to hear? So
Yes.
I try and have that fine balance where I'm still doing things on my own terms, but I can open it up a bit.
Well, I did it for a long time with my covers. When I first started doing solo cover stuff, I haven't been in bands for years. I used to challenge myself sometimes, like, can I go and play to a busy pub, but play things that aren't obvious, but still get everyone clapping, and sometimes it works, and then other times didn't. You're like, I should have just played Brown Eyed Girl, and they would have jumped up and down. But like, if I do that, then that's not the game. The game is to go in there and play something interesting.
Yeah. And you want to stay true to yourself as well.
Yeah,
you know,
but you walk that fine line, because obviously when you're doing the covers thing, then you kind of, like I said, the pubs kind of expect you to sort of do the things. So you've got to give a little, take a little, kind of balance it out.
Yeah.
So we were talking before we sat down about music and wellness and mental health. As you know, for me, like mental health and music is a really interesting area for me that I'm exploring and trying to learn about as much as possible.
Yeah.
For you and music, does music play into your daily feeling of wellness and mental health, or is it something you've never really thought about? Or
Yeah, I thought about it, and I think it does a lot. You know, even like back in the day before doing the live music has always been something that has always helped. You know, whatever you're going through, there's a song for everything, basically.
yeah.
And you know, you could be going through, it could be something trivial, or it could be something deep. And sometimes if you can step back and just have something either to listen to, or if you play as a musician, you know, you can have something to play. It does help with your well-being and your mental health.
I agree.
It can put things into perspective as well.
And
Obviously, if you're writing songs as well, if you're a songwriter, you know, you can channel that into a song, which can not help just you, but other people as well.
I think you're very good as well. You're very collaborative. Like some of the open mics, people come down, they do their thing, and they leave, and they've got their 15 minutes or 20 minutes they want to do, which is great. But you're a bit of a different animal. You're kind of like, hey, why don't I come play with you? Will you play with me? Or why don't we get 3 of us, or 4 of us, or 5 of us? Let's like collaborate.
Yeah.
And I think that collaboration aspect of it is quite powerful. Like you can, when you play with someone and you click,
Yeah.
and you have this sort of experience together.
Yeah.
And then you might go, see you later, off you go. But it's like that experience will stay with you a little bit, and you'll smile yourself about it.
It's all in the moment, and I think that's part of what music is about as well. You know, music connects us, and
I think so. Yeah.
It's nice to be able to do your own thing, but it's also nice to collaborate, jam with people, and you don't know what the other person's going to come up with as well.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes I play with some musicians who they start doing their thing, and I'm just grinning. I'm hearing what they're doing. I'm like, yeah, you know, totally unexpected.
And it's good when you
And
come from different worlds as well musically. I mean, like, it's good if you come from complete different musical places,
yeah,
because what you end up with in the middle is a real pulling on lots of areas. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, if you're playing rock bands for years, like you see a lot of these jams around, and I've gone along to a few of these things, and it's the same 7 or 8 guys playing the same bunch of covers every week.
yeah,
It's not a jam in the true sense of the word that you're actually going to go and create something fresh, something new.
yeah.
And I think when we played together, we did like cameo with my Irish country
Oh
background.
yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, that time we did. Was it so we did
Word,
Kissed
was it
and
Word Up? We
Kissed
did.
into Word Up.
Word Up, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to know.
Because they do a
I
bit of
don't know.
mashup with that, and it was an interesting take on it. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I don't know Word Up at all to play. I know
Yeah,
the song, but I've never played it. And it was like,
yeah.
yeah. But
But
then,
for me, I had to adapt to it,
yeah,
and it was like, yeah, it's always interesting. You know?
it's funny. Like, I was thinking, did I ruin that? Probably a little
No,
bit,
no,
but
no,
it's all good.
no.
That's good.
It
Well,
was
look,
just a different take on it, and you know, to hear what you came up with, and all right, so how could I like make that work for me, and you know, work with it.
Springsteen talks about it. Says like it's a conversation.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
a conversation between musicians and even conversation with the crowd and
yeah,
people. And it's like you write these songs and you pour yourself into it, and
yeah,
and then people engage it. And that there might be like for me, like talking about Springsteen as a musician, but happened with other artists.
mm,
You sometimes find them later on in life,
yeah,
but that at the time, whatever you're going through, that maybe that one song hooked you in and go, oh, do you know what? Like, now that means something to me.
yeah,
When I was 15, I didn't want to hear that.
yeah,
But now I'm a middle-aged man, there's a lot about that which actually I really like or
yeah,
whatever. And you understand things a bit more.
yeah, yeah. As you grow with things and like in life and with music, you know, you can look back and say, oh, that's what was happening there, you know,
I
and you
remember mum and
understand it
dad
better
sit me
when
down
you.
with Joni Mitchell, and as a kid, I like Joni Mitchell, whatever, but you kind of go, and then in my sort of mid to late 20s, going back to the vinyl collection, and you find both sides now, and you put it on, you're like, this is an incredible record. This is an incredible record.
Yeah,
This is like, what the hell? Like, and I'll just brush it off.
yeah.
So look, so what's the next on the agenda for you? Music. When's the next time you're playing?
Um, I don't know. Maybe even tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah. Well, I did have a mind to do more featured slots,
Okay.
so longer slots.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I never kind of got
You
around
have
to
to book
them.
onto those ones, do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, at the moment, I'm kind of the next definite thing. I told you I got this gig in a couple of weeks,
Yeah,
so I'm going to be playing bass for someone,
that's good.
amazing musician, and so yeah, looking forward to that.
So talk a bit about that. So who's this musician you're playing with?
Oh, so his name's Mike Dennis,
Uh huh.
rapping violinist,
Rapping
yeah,
violinist.
and like looper as well. You know, Luke is the loop pedal stuff, and so yeah, he runs a couple of open mics down in Bristol.
Wicked.
So I'm going to be going there for both of those open mics, and the gig is the day in the middle.
Nice.
And yeah, he released an album a few months ago.
It's original music, is it?
Yeah,
Amazing. And you're gonna play bass on that on
so
the gig.
I'm playing bass on that.
Amazing.
So it's going to be like a drummer, drum webo, and me, the bassist, and Mike doing his thing.
Wicked.
And
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah, he did an album launch party a couple of months ago, back in May.
Right.
So we collaborated on that, and that went very well.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Well, look, I'll hopefully see you again and
yeah,
more of these open mics. And like I say, you've been a massive help to me getting involved in this open mic world and introducing me to some incredible musicians. So,
yeah. No, I'm glad it worked out, man.
well, look, you got a big heart. You're a nice person. Do you know what I mean? Like so many people in the musical world just want to slam doors in your face, and you're the opposite. You're like a door opener.
Yeah,
It's
I like to
connecting
well,
people,
thanks. I
and
like to,
it's
like to
great.
so,
No,
yeah.
it's good. It's good. Al,
Because it's all about,
thank you very much.
it's all about the collaboration, and we all help each other out and
100%.
meet each other, connect, and inspire each other. That's a big thing as well.
100%. Yeah, I've
inspired and inspire.
certainly been inspired by what you do, and like the creativity aspect of what you do. I think I admire it. It's amazing. I think you're great.
Thank you.
And we'll hopefully do some more stuff together. And I'll do some country versions of Cameo next week. Like, brilliant.
I'll move a bit more to the country stuff. Yeah, we'll talk.
We'll keep talking. We've got to keep talking. Right, that's all for me for this one. I'll keep doing these open mics. I'll keep talking to open mic musicians like Al. We'll keep it going, and let's just keep growing this thing. All right.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thank you. Nice one.